Hey, 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 happy Monday, everyone.
Hello, hello.
I am super excited to be here with you all today on this Mental Health Monday.
Hello.
I am super excited to be here with you all today on this Mental Health Monday. I am super excited to be here with you.
It's like looping.
It is. You see that? Are you getting that too?
Yeah.
Okay, let's figure this out. Okay, let's just go forward. So we're here on Mental Health Monday, and we thought we'd come and have what I call a lunch and munch chat about mental health. As you all may or may not know, the Empowered Women in Wellness Conference will be taking place in less than 2 weeks, April 27th, 8 to 5. It is an all-day experience, and I love it because Elena, who's on the line, calls it a retreat. Ladies, this is just for you. And right here, I am going to turn the tables over to Misty, who will kind of moderate this conversation. We're not going to be here long. Grab your lunch and let's munch on this mental health material, because this is a little bit of inside view of what we'll be talking about on April 27th at the Empowered Women in Wellness Conference and Healthy Living Expo. Misty Kerrigan, take it over.
Thank you, Kimberly. Well, I am here with an expert panel. So I'm going to do a quick introduction and then we're going to get to the panel. And the introduction is this. When you're physically not feeling well, you get sniffles and you get coughs or you feel tired. There's these signs that come up for you, right? That I'm not feeling too well physically. But what are the signs if you're not feeling too well mental health wise? What are those signs? So I want to open up to the panel as we go into this discussion because the stats out there are staggering. They are staggering. Women business leaders suffer from a higher level of stress. We suffer from entrepreneurial challenges that our counterparts do not sometimes have. We have a harder time with work-life integration, which decreases our mental health because so much of that outside of work brings you a more healthier well-being. And insecurities joins the party for some, unfortunately, for some women. So there are so many things out there that are challenges and barriers. Doesn't mean we can't get through them. But I want to go through a couple today. And that first mental health one is, how do you guys know when your mental health isn't where it needs to be or supposed to be?
I could speak to that.
Barbara, get in here.
Barbara, let me tell you, I wrote my first book, What to Do When Life is Driving You Crazy, because I needed it. And I felt I was getting overwhelmed, irritable, and didn't know who to ask for help. And then I would act like I didn't need any help. And I really did. Danger, danger, danger. This is a retreat day we're having where it's a safe place to let people know where you feel. You're a 5 in your life. Say it's wonderful. A 4, you need some help. A 3, you're not sure it's ever going to get better. A 2, you're afraid you're in a crisis. And 1, you're on the floor, and we are there to pick you up.
Amen.
Drop the mic, Barbara. You gave us, I want to pull out a tool you just gave us, is you gave us a scaling system to have an inner conversation with ourselves. So it's an amazing, amazing tool. And we have some resources, right? The conference coming up. But I love too is you talked about you felt overwhelmed. So these are all great signs for mental health, just like a cold would be for physical health. So does anyone else want to jump onto Barbara's amazing train that she started?
You know what? I'm going to jump in really quickly. I'll tell you why. I have a lot of plates and I often have so many things on my hand. If you know me, you know I'm a woman of many talents, but many plates as well. And what I've learned is that for me, when I get to my max, I just need to back away from the car. And yesterday was a prime example. So yesterday on social media, I decided to go out into the middle of the woods. Me, myself, and I brought a friend alongside me. And I said, let me breathe it all in. Let me breathe this fresh air. Let me walk. Let me meditate. Let me pray. Let me spend that time. Because if I don't, I'm no good for you, or you. And so that is something I've recognized when my plate is full, I feel anxious. I can't really sleep well. There's a million things running in my head. And we have to be mature, but we have to care enough about ourselves to say, you know what, enough is enough. Back away.
Love that. Thank you, Kimberly.
You have to agree with Kimberly on the overwhelm thoughts. And I love to go out to the woods too, but I liken it to one of those rubber band balls that we have on our desks that we get at the office supply store. That's how my brain starts to feel when I'm on entrepreneurial overload. You're just so tight here that you cannot process another thought. So I liken it to taking just one of those rubber bands off, reflecting, resetting, renewing, thinking about it, processing it, and then launching it. I just have that visual in my mind. And sometimes it's taking an afternoon. Sometimes it's just taking half an hour just to walk outside, just to reflect what's going on, renew yourself, reset, and get back to it. But I didn't know that concept 5 years ago. I just kept going and I was burnt out. And it was a rough season.
Well,
That's good.
Beautifully said. The pause is so important. I think sometimes in life we get so busy, we get caught up on the perfection, and the pause is so important. Zig Ziglar says in life, we have 3 choices: to give in, to give up, or to give it all you've got. And I rely truly on God's words every day to be that refresher, because Philippians 4:13 says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So, trusting in God, number one, and letting go of the fear, the stinking thinking that creeps in. And so, as you ladies shared, the importance of getting out of our head and getting out and just being and letting ourselves, be still and trust our amazing God. And number 2, the importance of surrounding ourselves with people who believe in us and creating that distance from the negative Nilly or the stinking thinkers, right?
Yeah.
Because that also helps us to rejuvenate. I jumped on a call this morning with my amazing accountability partners. And, when life comes at you hard, you surround yourself with those kind of people, and it helps breathe life into you. They dust you off. They remind you of the gifts and talents you were given that God gave you to share with the world. And we just take a breath and step back, and then we get right in and we trust him for opening the doors and creating the clarity.
Yes.
I
I heard that life be lifing. I don't know if you all heard that, but life is lifing.
Always. I want to jump into, man, I relate to everything everybody says with overwhelm and anxiety, right? As women too, we take on so much, and we have responsibility for our household, and we have the children, and then we have work. And if we're entrepreneurs, like what? That's a whole nother thing. I honestly feel like sometimes I'm on a trapeze without a net. Anybody feel like that? Man, it's tough. It's tough. So when I feel those ways, I have to slow down. I have to do breath work. I am a big believer in breath work and slowing down my heart and slowing down my thoughts and finding peace so that I can hear that still small voice. And that voice will never, never steer you the wrong way. But if you're in an agitated state, you can't hear. So the first thing that once I recognize those signs, especially of anxiety, I have to do the breath work. And I'm also a big meditator. And we need to allow. That's all you got to do is just sit still and allow, because just as Celeste has shared with us, it will happen. It's coming. We just have to slow down and receive. So thank you for allowing me to contribute.
Life
I
be life.
love that.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
The slow down and receive. That's a great technique just to take in, is get into the silence, get into that back into your body, back into the moment and out of your head. It's really great.
So much in life we want to grab, right? It comes to us. And if we can just give ourselves permission to catch, but to release, we can be that listening ear, we can be that support system, but we don't have to solve it all. We don't have to be that resolution. And that catch and release thing is so important. As women, I know we get the catch, right? But it's that release to practice, where the breathing is so important, and the meditation to get our mindset. But we've got to, as women, remind each other, hey, you don't got to give that power. You don't have to take that with you, right? Let God be God and just release.
I'd like to quickly throw in, sometimes we get ourselves in a situation where we try to please someone, and it's like a bottomless pit. And the more we try, the worse it gets. And I have found that the double bind, when you're darned if you do and you're darned if you don't, you want to learn what steps can you take to step back and maybe please yourself, because you're not going to win in this situation, and how to recognize that when it's coming.
I love that. Now, we do have a licensed MFT in the house. I would love to, especially because it's
I mean,
mental
I have an
health.
LCSW, a license in close, clinical social work. Right.
Awesome, Barbara. Yeah. Dr. Caroline, what is your intake on here on mental health and entrepreneurs and women? You're on
Are you
mute.
Oh.
Gotta unmute yourself.
Good
Are we
morning.
talking?
Good morning,
Good
everyone.
morning.
Yeah, sorry about that. Well, my take is honestly, lately it's been to stop the talking and actually practice what we as busy women feeding into people's lives and on top of our families. I found that, and this is probably to me, but I'm sure it's not just to me, that we know it, and we say it, and we encourage it, and we're very eloquent in how we say everything that we say. And this is me until I said, okay, I really need to put this into practice. So I like what you all have said. I found that I'm going to be the first shift. So I am my first shift. Once I drop my kids to school, next is me. I'm going to go for that walk where I'm only playing music, but I'm not answering phone calls. If I have my phone with me, it's for me. So I really like what Ms. Barbara also just, said right before me, that we have to put ourselves on the calendar. And for me, I have to now do it intentionally every morning, even if it's a 5-minute walk, whatever, but I just need to take it for me and not be needed or wanted by anyone. Thank you for allowing me to share.
Oh my gosh, that was amazing. Great ideas. It doesn't have to be an hour or a day or a weekend or a month, right? It's that 5 minutes can start to shift your life. And Martika, we've not got to hear from you yet. What are some of your wisdoms?
Oh man. And you know what? Everything is so timely because coming here, hearing everybody, I'm able to do this because my morning has been so far, all those things that we've been talking about. But it's those things that I think what helps, what all of you've been saying, even with Celeste, is um, such a big believer in prayer and just taking that time to go into either the prayer closet or stepping away from work or those things that keep you pretty busy in your head, anxiety and all of that, and taking that breath and just really being vulnerable with God, saying, you know what, this is where I'm at right now. I need your help. And meditating on scriptures, knowing that he hears our prayers, and then just allowing like what I'm sorry, Elena, what in that moment, allowing yourself to breathe. And one of the things I think God's been teaching me to do is to be still and what that actually means in being still, meaning not having a lot of distractions, turning off the TV, turning off the noise, the things that could kind of keep you going like this, where you don't realize if you just stop that and sit within silence, how you can collect your thoughts, how your heart rate can come down, how you can breathe it out, and then have a little bit more clarity into what your day is. And something even my husband's been telling me, encouraging me to do more is he's like, write out your day.
Oh,
God even told Nehemiah, write out your plans. Have that list and do it within the order. And then not to feel so overwhelmed that by the end of your day, if you don't have things done, okay, you are only human. Then you leave it
Well,
for the next.
Martika, you help me be calm because your voice, the pace
Oh,
of your talk, like
thank you.
I already calmed down like 3 things already, right? I'm all, what else? Now, we said it was a quick lunch and munch, ladies. So what I want to do laser like is let's go around the room and you just say, what is your topic going to be on? Name your workshop on our amazing 27th event. These ladies will be live in person. You could come to their workshop, come hear them speak, come talk to them in between. But let's just go around the room here. I'm going to start with Cindy. Cindy, what is your topic?
my topic is change the script, how to create a page turner life.
Sweet. Celeste.
Create a new mindset, how to move through frazzled to fabulous.
Woo! Love it. Miss Barbara.
And mine goes from stress to yes. How do you know when to go from frazzled to get people to help, to sit still, and to not worry about a thing because it will work out?
Ooh, I'm excited for that one. Martika, what is yours?
Mine is called I Am Blank,
Mhm.
and it's to help married women know their identity in Christ and how that edifies their marriages.
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah.
twofold. You got love that. Elena?
Mine is called Am I Good Enough? And it tackles, man, when we start to feel like we're not enough, how to overcome imposter syndrome, and how basically to create the lives of our dreams.
Oh my gosh. And last but never least, Dr. Carolyn.
And my topic is on courageous vulnerability. Basically, vulnerability is not a weakness, and that we can navigate through any issues in life, primarily mental health issues, boldly, courageously, and come throughout and shine.
Love it.
Wow.
Well, ladies, in 15 minutes, you get so many nuggets. And for our listeners and those that will be listening later, there's so many notes they could take. And I just want to say thank you for your time, because we know how busy you guys are and the impact you're making. And before we go, I would love Kimberly to set us off with a few words.
Well, first of all, thank you, Misty, for facilitating this conversation. You are a rock star. And for each and every woman that's present here, I see 6 of you that are going to be on the main stage speaking and sharing on the 27th. And listen, if you are not on fire by what you just heard, trust me, there is so much more that's going to be brought forth. I'm going to open up with a message, the courage to shine, which is our 2024 theme. But let me tell you, there's so much more in store. We've got workshops, we've got speakers, but we have each of these ladies. Wednesday, same time, same place. We'll be back sharing with our physical wellness, because empowered women in wellness is about the whole woman, physically, mentally, spiritually, financially, socially. Keep going and keep going. That's what we're all about. Thank you all for joining us. We hope to see you at the Empowered Women in Wellness 2024 conference. We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
So long.